Hello, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Tony Sapita, and today I'm joined again by my co-host Nick Barr. How you doing today, Nick?
Tony, I am doing great. Another Bulls win, 4-0. Can't believe I'm saying that. Um, and I'm also feeling good because we got a new partner in the works. Little bench mob. Tony, I'm sure you can tell us more about that here. But look forward to big things coming.
Yeah, so Bench Mob and Just Another Year Chicago are kind of doing a partnership, and Bench Mob was actually started back in like that late 2000s, early 2010s. With the guys like Ronnie Brewer, C.J. Watson, Kyle Korver. Everyone knows the Bench Mob, of course. So that was kind of when they started. They took a little break, and now they're back because boy, do we have the Bench Mob already back in action. So we'll have some discount codes coming out for you guys. Got some sick wristbands here and awesome shirts. These things are so comfortable, and like I said, we'll get into it more as we go along. But either way, excited for that. So Nick, I guess we can kind of start off with the first quarter before the Bench Mob came in. What did you kind of see? What give us your thoughts.
Yes. So obviously, so Bulls 4-0. That's the most important part, right? That's all that matters. But Tony, another slow start. I'm just sitting there watching in the first quarter, like just thinking to myself, Lonzo and Vooch should be just pick and roll. Like they should just be doing this 2-man game the entire game. Now, I know Vooch is having some difficulty finishing around the rim. I think that'll pick up. Lonzo, while he's remarkable. We all love him as a point guard defender. Everything he's shown so far, I think he's exceeded expectations, if you will. Unreal rotations on defense. I think I tweeted during that. It was just a coach's dream right there. Probably Tom Thibodeau's dream, to be honest. He probably will see that and just absolutely be beside himself. But I'm liking some of the DeMar confidence I'm seeing now, just pulling up, shooting threes sometimes even. Again, it showed why we got these big market players for Zach, is that if Zach doesn't have to carry the team every single night, every single quarter. And again, Tony, I think I'll end my first quarter breakdown with this, but third game in a row where Zach had no points in the first. But we were still finding a way to stay in the game. In fact, lead the game. And then Levine ended up scoring his first bucket with 5:21 left in the second quarter. So, like I said, third game in a row like that. But again, this is why we brought on the talent that we did. Going into halftime, we had Lonzo with 4 3-pointers. So his shooting, again, he's been my shot to watch this summer, even before he was on the Bulls, and it's still showing to be true. Vooch was still managed to get 12 points, 5 rebounds, and then DeRozan 11 points, 5 assists by half. And Tony, I think what I'm looking forward to the most, honestly, speaking of bench mob, is just Kobe White. I'll be honest, he completely slipped my mind. I kind of forgot for a second he was on our team. I don't know. There's not a lot of bench shots, during the game. So I guess I just forgot because I haven't seen his face in a while. But as much as we love the bench mob so far this year, Troy Brown Jr. even put up 11 points last night. I think they are really screaming for Kobe's help. So looking forward to him getting back. Those were my main kind of first half takeaways. Lonzo balling out a little bit, and then DeRozan showing his former home, what they're missing out on. Tony, what were your first half takeaways?
So I think one of my biggest takeaways from it, obviously, was that Zach LaVine thing. I had another thing as well. I'll get to, I guess. But Zach LaVine, I don't think it's an issue, and I don't. Because we're not losing yet. If it becomes like one of those things where he goes out there, scores no points, he's playing like the whole quarter, and we're just getting like our doors blown off because he's, missing shots left and right, turning the ball over, that's when I'll start to get worried. But you're totally right about the fact that that's why we brought in guys like DeMar. That's what I've also been saying, not to brag to, is DeMar is that guy that's going to he's just going to consistently score for you, keep you on track. And then, Zach LaVine's going to go up and down like a crazy roller coaster. DeMar will keep everything on track, and that's what he did in the first half. And obviously, we'll talk about it as we go along. That's what he did at the end of the game as well. But so I'm not officially worried about Zach LaVine. I think that's basically what I wanted to say about my
me neither.
first half takeaway is I'm not worried about Zach LaVine's slow starts. It could be potential cause for concern in the future. Not worried. Also, shout out Alize Johnson for being probably my favorite, not like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan player on the Bulls right now. He is just absolutely incredible.
Absolutely.
Works harder than anyone you know. Yeah.
He does, man. Something about him grabbing a board and then like taking that one dribble, like, like backdrop, like that. Like I felt the dribble from my house. Like it was fantastic. And he's not doing it. Like you see a lot of guys doing this, sometimes exuding maybe some fake hustle per se. I know my coach used to use that term, but he's legit. Like he's not just losing the ball. Like he's not turning it over. He's taking care of it while being super aggressive at the same time. He's making the most out of his minutes. And like I said, Troy Brown Jr. was another one I think I mentioned briefly. But before we move on to the second half, Troy Brown Jr., unfortunately, well, should I say unfortunately? I guess it is unfortunate if you're riding hard for Io, the Chicago kid, because those were Io's minutes, and Troy Brown, showed why he was deserved of them too. Now, does that mean it could change in the future? I still think so. It's not like he was blowing us away per se. And I think I need to see him bring a little bit more to the defensive side too, but obviously 11 points off the bench. You got to love that. So he earned his minutes there for sure. But for those of you wondering why we weren't seeing Io out there, that would be why. Looks like Troy Brown, his mouth issue is now fixed. And that is to say the least. So he would be the bench mobber of the night. That's for sure. But, I'm still high on Io. I still think he brings a big spark when he gets on the floor. So I think we could see that. See a little bit more of him at least before Kobe White. Now moving on to the second half. So third quarter, we had a pretty large lead. I believe we were almost up by 20. And a move I love to do, Tony, is just like it's like the try hard dad move. When you're just beating the crap out of an opponent, but then, they score a bucket and maybe it goes from a 23-point lead to a 21-point lead. And you shake your head, you get all mad, I can't believe it. Even though it has no impact on the game whatsoever. I love doing that just because the fact that we even have that luxury this year is like, I'm cherishing it, man. I'm cherishing it. And I'm going to hold on to it as long as I can. But Tony, clearly, if you want to get into this, we started having some flashbacks, if you will.
Yep.
The lead dissipated a little bit. We were feeling pretty confident after the first half, but second half went a little south.
Yeah. I'm going to hop back to the start of the second half real quick, give Alex Caruso his flowers, because that's a guy that I specifically, I was just on my phone here trying to find the tweet because I knew he did something awesome that I had a tweet about. I forgot he made a three, hustled back on defense, I think after like a missed shot, like the next possession, and defended three guys at once at the rim and forced a turnover or whatever it was, tipped it out for a rebound. It was possibly the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. For given the circumstances, I love Alex Caruso. I will, bench mob, ride or die. Not exactly the tallest, not exactly the guy you expect to guard three guys at the rim and then pop a three. Just got to give him so much credit for that because the dude plays with so much heart, which translated to the end of the game here when, my dad was in the other room and I was watching it with him. It's like, oh yeah, let me know when the fourth quarter's on. I was like, all right, it's it's a 15-point game. Oh, it's a 11-point game. Yeah, single digit game. You got to get in here. Come on. He's like, all right, you hooked me in. It's okay. And then we're both, edge of our seat as we just see that lead dwindling. And shout out DeMar DeRozan, like I was saying earlier, is just the Cool Hand Luke, I think. I never saw the movie. Probably Cool Hand Luke, where he does not feel the pressure. Boy, the Raptors probably wish they got a guy like him on their team. Nick, what did you think, I guess, at the end?
Okay. First of all, let me give Fred VanVleet credit where credit is due. A Rockford boy. So we got to give him, we got to pay him the respects. You paid your respects on Twitter.
Yep. Class 4A state champion, all state, I imagine. I guess that part I didn't know, but state champ. Auburn High School. Yes.
Yeah, Rockford Auburn. Yeah. That sounds right. Yep. I mean, what an absolute dog. What an absolute competitor. I still can't get over how much he looks like Drake. I know that's probably been talked about like way too much at this point because it's so obvious, but especially the fact that he plays for Toronto. I mean, that should be talked about more often. They're splitting image of each other. They actually were probably similar heights too. Drake's 6'1". I bet Fred's around there. So anyways, might be Drake out there. Stay woke for that. But I mean, props to him, man. He was absolutely remarkable. I mean, he was like, not only was he shooting threes, but the way he can get to the rack and like finish around the rim for being a small guy like that. Definitely something to be proud about if you're the Raptors. But yeah, I mean, once they got within 9, this was the first time we really saw the Bulls uncomfortable this year. And then, kind of it's almost anecdotal to at least the early part of this season so far. The early part of this new roster, the new look Bulls was them breaking 9, breaking them lead from double digits, and then Lonzo following back with an awesome defensive possession that forced the shot clock turnover. And that's one of those things that's so like depleting as a team. If you're at home, you have this momentum, you've been cutting down this lead, and then you get a freaking shot clock violation. Like there's nothing that kills the buzz more than that. So that was huge. So again, like I said, I think it's a little anecdotal to the new look Bulls, just when we think, we're screwing it up, we're getting a little careless with the ball, which we were. Our boy Lonzo comes in with an awesome defensive stand.
That shot clock violation, specifically that play, that was fun. That was another one that I felt the need to tweet about, because we gave up like 4 offensive rebounds in that like little span too. So the ugliest like defensive stop I've ever seen in my life. Like no reason it should have gone in our favor, but it was like a bend don't break, and you're so right. It truly was. It was a microcosm. It was a perfect way to sum up what ended up happening in that game. They were flying all over the court, especially on that. So I just wanted to say I completely agree with you on that ugly defensive possession, but they still got the job done. Win ugly, because winning's all that matters, baby.
Yeah, man. And even that last play, I mean, it came down to the last play. That's the other thing we gotta make sure we admit, we confront. It literally did come down to the last play, which it shouldn't have. Still, no matter what, we say we got the win, blah blah blah. It still shouldn't have come down to that. But look at Vooch dancing out there on the perimeter. He did just enough for that shot not to go in. That was, talk about like, that felt like the slowest 2 seconds or whatever of my entire life, just watching his strides go back and forth. It felt like slow motion. But we snuck it out, man. My biggest, so we'll wrap this up here. My biggest takeaway, I think, is going to be, other than Levine and having him covered for when, he's having a slower start. I hate to do it, man. I got to pick on P. Will again. It's Patrick Williams. I just haven't seen what I thought I would see based on, now again, it was summer league, and I think we hammered this home that it was just summer league. But even some of that aggressiveness and maybe that's just not in his wheelhouse, right? So if he's not going to create his own shots, then hopefully he steps up when the opportunity is given to him. So still, the judging is to be done still on Patrick Williams. I don't think we need to jump to any conclusions right now, but I think he's got a big test for him on Thursday night, playing the Knicks. Best competition so far. Obviously, that within itself is enough, but also having to guard Julius Randle, one of the hottest players in the league right now, which I'm assuming he would. That'll be a big test for P. Will. So that's what I'm looking for. Tony, what about you?
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway probably was that, one, the bench, just quick shout out to the bench mob every game, dude. They are just absolutely integral. They just make these big plays that, even if it's just a rebound. Yep.
Javonte Green wears the red one, I believe. So if you want to be 3 times as cool as Javonte Green, like we are, get all 3, baby. Anyways.
Absolutely. And like we said, we're going to have some discount codes coming for you guys soon. Also, this red and Knicks red, they're the same red. I can see the correct red that this is. This is not the correct red. Like on my through my camera. Unless you like it, then it
Oh
totally is.
yeah,
But
it looks
just so
like a
everyone
little-
knows, I don't know what is my camera's fault, or maybe it's the lighting. So, but the bench mob, shout out the bench mob again. Alize Johnson is awesome, and that is just so awesome that we have a deep bench because we have a great starting five. But that was my biggest thing with the Raptors coming in is their entire starting five against the Mavericks the game before scored in double digits. Their bench combined for 7 points, I think it was, between like 5 guys. So they don't have that depth with injuries and stuff. But that is good, especially going into this stretch, especially when Zach LaVine isn't scoring, whatever it is. And my other takeaway is Lonzo Ball is I think his shot is fixed. It has to be fixed, or he had a great game. But
yeah, it's fixed.
That's so dangerous, and that is going to help out Patrick Williams and Vooch and these other guys because they now have to step up. They can't treat him like he's Ben Simmons or anything out there. My other biggest takeaway about Lonzo Ball is that he makes some weird plays at the end of games sometimes under pressure, it seems like. Because talk about just like it's
He
like
gets a little too loose. He gets a little too loose.
He was like, "Oh man, this guy is wide open. Fred VanVleet, baby, here you go," and just sent him on a breakaway. And I think it was a 4-point game at the time. Not rookie mistake. Obviously, it's his 5th year, but I'm not worried. It's just interesting.
He's almost too chill. So this is something we'll end on this. This is something that we've been talking about a little bit with our friends. We have so many California college educated kids on this team. So I almost think that this is bleeding over to our personality where we're just like, it's good vibes Bulls, you know what I mean? West Coast, everything is good. There's not a bad vibe in sight. And it's almost like, okay, but we do need to, like, as much as we're having fun and we love each other, I'm having all of it. I want all of it. But when it comes time to get serious and win a game, we do have to have some composure, you know what I mean? Be able to turn up those competitive juices that got these guys there to this level to begin with, right? So the two chill Bulls, yeah, that I was a little bit concerned about our decision making too. But again, I think that is because we're like so in the honeymoon phase. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. Not that we're just inferior, but that we're just choosing not to take it seriously yet. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, we have two USC guys, 2 UCLA guys, and our starting 5, and then Patrick Williams is Florida State. So I mean that might as well be the beach, probably not really,
coast,
but you get the point. Yeah, down Tallahassee,
the coast. We got the coasts.
Absolutely, yeah. We got SoCal baby in Florida, and then we got our UNC product, Kobe White, little Michael Jordan, if you ever heard of him as well. Obviously, he's not out there right now. I wish he was. That'd be cool.
I have.
And then Devon Dotson, right? He went to UNC. There's someone else from UNC.
There is someone else.
I think it's Dotson. Official take, it's Dotson. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I think I am wrong. No, I think I'm right. Doesn't matter. Either way.
No, it doesn't matter.
That'll do it, I think. For we'll have our Knicks preview coming out Thursday.
Tony Bradley.
The day.
It's Tony Bradley. Tony Bradley's the other unit.
Yes, he is.
North Carolina.
Not Devon Dotson. He went to Duke, I think, actually. Devon Dotson, right?
Sure. Yeah.
You know what? Stick with us. Stick with us, everyone. Stick with us. Devon Dotson. And if I'm wrong, I'll do something. I don't know what I'll do. But damn, I was wrong. He went to Kansas. So I'll do something. We'll figure it out. If somebody saw this, comment below, and then I'll do something. But if no one comments, I'm going to assume you guys didn't see it. So with that,
just tell us you've seen it. If you've seen it, please.
Sorry about that. That got a little messy at the end. I might cut it. Who knows? And with that, that'll do it for another episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Tony Sapita. Thank you for joining me again. My co-host, Nick Barr. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, Bulls fans, keep seeing red.